This is called final roll call. Did you hear the sad news today? Another Navy veteran has passed away. Called by the Supreme Commander overall, today they have made their final roll call. For our valiant comrades who have fallen away, we drape their bodies with a banner of beautiful hues, those glorious American colors of red, white, and blues. That star-spangled banner they gallantly fought to defend, unyielding and undaunted, they fought to win. They fought bravely and they passed the battle test. Now our Supreme Commander grants them eternal rest. With dignity and honor, we commit their bodies to the sea. The bugler has sounded taps, and we fired the volley rounds. These final military honors we render somberly and ever so sadly. Old glory we precisely folded and reverently presented to their family. So close ranks, aging warriors, for our ranks are thinning. We must keep on fighting and keep on winning. With pride and honor, we march and stand tall till we too join our shipmates and make that final roll call.
My name is John Johnson. I'm from Vero Beach, Florida, and I served on the Vance in during 1943 and 40 to 1945. 45.
What rate?
Okay.
What rate?
Oh, I was boatswain's mate, second class.
Another boats.
I'm Ken Harvey. This is my wife, Kathy. But I served on the Vance from May of 1941. No, I was in the Coast Guard from May of 1941 until October of 45. But I joined the Vance crew as a member of the nucleus crew in June of 1943. And there were 29 of us, and we did all kinds of training things prior to the actual launching of the ship in Houston, which took place in November, I believe, of that year. And we did some chaser training down in Florida and training in Norfolk. But finally we wound up in Houston in time for the ship. Then we went on down to Galveston, where we were commissioned. And from that time on, so April of 45, I was a member of the crew. And we did 7 transatlantic convoys while I was there. 1 to Casablanca, the first one, and the other 6 to Gibraltar. So that's my history on the Vance.
What rate were you?
Pardon?
What rate?
I was a radio man first class, and my first job in the Coast Guard was on weather patrol on the USS Spencer from June of 41 until just after Pearl Harbor. And then I went to radio school in New London, and then I went back on weather patrol on the USS Monomoy for a year until I was assigned to the nucleus crew. So that's my history in the Coast Guard and on the Vance.
I want you to say hello to them. Go ahead.
I'm Bill Mechanic, USS Vance, and what else did I say?
You were on the DE, right?
Yeah, the
DE.
387.
What rate?
Second class boatswain.
Boatswain's mate.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Hey, hi fellas. I'm Kurt Willett, Charleston, South Carolina. Served on the DE 387, the USS Vance, in 1944, 1945, and decommissioned her the first time in 1946. Have fun. Join us next reunion.
What rate?
Oh, hey, he asked me what rate. I was a magnificent seaman first class and a radar striker.
How you kid? All right, we're going.
I'm Ted Boinger from USS Vance, DE 387, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm Edward Cobb, and I was on the Vance in April 1969. Well, came aboard probably in January of '69. And was in Vietnam. Went to Hong Kong for R&R. Left Hong Kong, and then we got word we decommissioned the Vance. So we headed for Vallejo, went back to Hawaii, and stayed in Hawaii for a couple of weeks, and then went on to Vallejo, California. I was EN3 in the M Division, and
Didn't close it, one more.
and went to Sasebo and Keelung and Kaohsiung and Philippines, and that's about it.
Go ahead.
My name is Clinton H. Penny. USS Vance, PBR 387,
What was your rate?
EN3,
What years were you there?
1956 or 58.
See, he's been on the tour.
John Credo, RM1, RM3, I'm sorry, USS Vance, 387, 68, 69.
Hi, I'm Jerry Trailer. I was on the Vance from September of '60 until sometime in '62. Made the deep freeze cruise, lots of two-line patrols, and left there and went to the Durant. And went back to deep freeze on the Durant and came back and ended up staying 25 years or more in the Navy. So,
And what was your rating?
I retired as a Senior Chief Electronics Technician on the Vance. I was an RDSM.
Well, hello. My name's Ernie Travers. Serial number is 777-3413. I still remember that. Obviously, I was on board the USS Vance. I was a reservist doing my active duty. I live in Damascus, Maryland. Have a wife, son, new grandson who's just turned a year. And I'm retired and enjoying life. And this is my second time at the reunions, and now I find myself, I'm a master at arms. It's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to a whole lot more fun times with this organization. And the guys are great. A lot of bullshooting going on, and we all have a good time. So
When did you serve, Ernie?
I served from 1965 to '67, and my recruiter swore to me that you never went out more than 6 months. Swore it. I think our first cruise was like 9 months we was out. So much for that. But we have a good time here, and highly recommend it, and get to talk to some of the fellas. Pretty much all I have to say, I think.
Hi, I'm Jim Shenwick. This is my wife Shelley. I served on the Vance from 1967 and 1969. And this reunion is great. It's the first one I've been to, and having a really great time meeting some very nice people.
Go. Hi there, I'm Bob Howey with the Vance Association. I'm currently the dispersing officer in our ward. We're here in Charleston at my fourth reunion, and I'm a veteran of the Yarnhatter Affair. I was on the Vance from 1965 through 1968. Hope to see you and many others at the next reunion and in the years to follow. Hi, Dwayne Baumgartner here. Senior Chief Engineman, retired. All the way out to Charleston from Gold Hill, Oregon. And I served on Vance in 1968 and 1969. And one story I recall, my wife gave me the orders to pick her up one of those big fan-back Chinese peacock chairs when I was in Hong Kong. And I'm carrying it down the dock to the pier, and a bunch of little Chinese
what do you call them, laborers or coolies. A bunch of Chinese coolies come up and tried to grab it out of my arms. It was so big I was carrying it on my back. And they were saying that was their job. They were like stevedores. That was their job. And they wanted me to hand that chair over to them, you know. And I thought they were trying to take it away from me. So I'm kicking them off. I finally made it down to the boat. And that was a hassle, I'll tell you.
How you doing? My name is Rich Wybakowski. I was postal class 3rd class on the USS Vance back in 67 to 69. I enjoyed the ship, enjoyed the shipmates, had a lot of fun overseas. Really recommend anyone else want to do it. Come on in and have some fun. Other than that, that's it.
My name is John Blake. I was on the Vance from 65, made 2 cruises to Vietnam, left in 66. I was Chief Master at Arms. During my tenure, I was also had the lucky one that served on the Arm Harley. And I live in Brunswick, Georgia. Been there since 1966.
George BLUST, diesel engineman, 2nd class, served aboard the Vance DER 387 from June of 66 through July of 69. Had a lot of fun here at the reunion. Wish all you guys could have been here too, especially them DE guys.
CLAUDELL Garrett. I was on the USS Vance from 1966. I think it was winter of 66, and I was left there November, 64.
Been a long time.
Yeah, and I left there November of 66.
What was your rate?
EM5, electrician mate, 2nd class.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was on the ship.
What's your name?
Donald Walls.
Thank you.
I'm from Pasadena, right down the street, and I was on the ship in 56 to 58, and I was a BT, 3rd class, and I was in the recommissioning crew. It's an honor. I've been wanting to come to the reunion, and thanks for the phone call. That's probably the reason I'm here. Good.
My name is Lowell BRASELTON. I was an engineman 1st class on there from 63 to 67. And my wife and I live in Longview, Texas. And this is my first visit here. I hope to be back again.
My name is Richard McSavity, and I was on board 65 to 68. I was a BT2 when I went on. I was a BT1 when I got off. And this is our first reunion, and we live in southern Texas. Southern Texas. Call it Tex-Mex where I'm from. But glad to be here, and had a lot of fun, and brought back a lot of memories.
I'm the guy whose name nobody could ever pronounce.
We want to know anyway.
How do you pronounce it?
Name is Bertness Rougeau. Thanks to one of my shipmates, I became known as Roach. But I went aboard as a seaman, left as a radioman 2nd class by some miracle I never guessed how. 64 to 68, and I'm currently residing in San Diego.
My name is Mike Streeter. I was aboard the Vance from 1964 to 1967. My rank at that time was a BT3.
Yeah, Russ BECKMAN, engineman 3rd class. I was aboard the Vance 66, 70. I was a engineman in that.
Thank you.
My name is Gary GUINN. I was aboard the Vance in 65, 67. I'm a seaman.
My name's GAYLAND. I was an engineman 2nd when I got out. Was
2 when I came on. So, and I served from April 65 to December 68.
Gayland 1.
My name is John Rushforth. I served from 1959 to 1962, and when I got out of the Vance, I was also made second class.
Johnny Rushforth.
BONELL, I was on the Vance from 67 through the decommissioning of 69, and then the reserves. I was engineman second class when I got out. Got off the Vance, and then I made first class in the reserve.
I'm new. Jim PRESSEY, I was DK2, 1965 through 67.
Oh, yeah.
Captain here. 66 and 68, Chief Radarman.
Go ahead, Chief.
If you don't know, I'm Chief Wakefield. I had all these clowns working for me. I put them from 64 to 68. The ones that were here, that are all here. I was an engineman then. I retired as a Chief Master Army.
Start with you. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. My name's Jim Enzi. I was aboard the Vance 66 to 68. I'm the CO for the next 2 years. And it was nice to be here and I met all these people. Over and out.
Start again.
Start again.
My name is Cecil Gillis. I was on the USS Vance from 1962 to 1966. I was the oil king for 2.5 years on board the ship, and then I retired in 1981.
Bill French, radarman, aboard the Vance, 61, 62. On to bigger and better things after the Vance. My wife, Josephine, this is our second reunion. Dallas is our first in 03. Thank you.
And I'm Jerry BLUM. I was an engineman on the Vance, about 63 through 66. And I missed Captain on hiding.
I'm Frank Van Norman. I was a boilerman on the Vance from 65 to 68. After I got out of the Navy, I've done various jobs, but I retired from the CN Railroad after 30 years of service.
Joe Betters, I served on board end of 1965 to July of 68 when I was unwrapped off the coast of Vietnam. Started the website back around 1998 to hope to get a lot of these people together that you're seeing today. Communications officer, webmaster, secretary.
This is MERLE, Southsaw, Oklahoma. I was engineman second class on the Vance from 66 till 69.
That doesn't count.
It's picture time for the Rowe brothers.
What was your camera?
Started NUSSBAUM. I was engineman second class, aboard the ship at 56 to 1960.
Floyd Smith, MR. I went aboard in 57 and left at Pearl Harbor in 59.
Dave VALLELY. I went aboard the Vance in 61 and was a part of Operation Deep Freeze 61 62 ET.
I'm Jerry Farsmed. I was Lieutenant JG. I had the decades.
We go closer to the PC, we go in both day and night. There ain't no one sleeping easy, we are wide awake with fright.
Tom Generous.
Tom
My last name is like on something.
Okay, wow.
We'll sign it.
POUSSON?
Oh yeah, I remember you.
Do you? I don't remember you.
Well,
I just say I'm Don Davis, radioman first. Was on the Vance 62 through 60, part of 64. Left there with the staff.
Plenty of tape.
All right. I entered the Vance, and I was a steward, third class, master, first class steward mate.
What was your name?
I served on it. Raymond Jackson's my name, and I went to commission at Vance, and we went to Brownsville, Texas. That's where we got on the ship at. And from there I stayed 24 months on the Vance until it was decommissioned in Green Cove Spring, Florida, in St. John River on January the 21st, 1946.
Hello, I'm Mike Streeter. I served aboard the USS Vance from 1964 to 1967.
What rate were you?
I was a BT3.
My name is Bruce Swanson. I was a damage controlman, 3rd class, and I served aboard the Vance from March 11th, 1965 to February 14th of 1966. And my time for separation came up, and I left the Vance on February 14th of 66 when we were in An Toi, South Vietnam. One of the reasons I joined the Navy was I couldn't figure out how to get in the National Guard or the Army Reserve, but I knew how to get into the Naval Reserve, so I joined the Naval Reserves. And I was supposed to be on active duty for 2 years, and I decided to extend 1 year and stay in for 3 years. And the 3rd year, they put me aboard the USS Vance because they asked for volunteers to go to Vietnam, and I raised my hand. And so there I was aboard the Vance, March 11th, 1965. It was a good bunch of guys I served with.
Weidman, ETR-2. I was aboard when Ross Wright was captain, and I have a couple stories about him. He was great. That guy was incredible. My special sea detail was on the open bridge with the captain. We were having exercise with a submarine just outside of Pearl Harbor. The submarine's goal was to hit us with dummy torpedoes. Our goal was to drop a dummy depth charge on the submarine. And I'm up there with the captain. The captain's giving orders, left full rudder midships, all head full. And just when he said all head full, a torpedo came down starboard side, another torpedo down the port side. We were right in between the two torpedoes going full speed ahead towards the submarine. We dropped the dummy depth charge and we won that exercise. Captain Wright was an incredible seaman. That guy, I was impressed. I just couldn't believe it. He got us right between the two torpedo tracks. So the sub missed. I think they were probably really surprised when that happened.
Hey. Hi, my name is Larry Monteen, known as Sweet Pea. I was on board the USS Vance in 1967-68. I came on board as a fireman and ended up BT3, boiler technician, for some of you that don't understand that. We went on a Operation Market Time through Vietnam, did the Taiwan Straits patrols, and experienced a lot of fun things and met a lot of good guys, such as Frank Van Norman, Jim Ansley, Joseph Betters, and the ROWE brothers, Earl and Merle, Buddha, Gary Wise, Huey, and the rest of the fellas. So, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, born, bred there, and I'm a Packer fan. So, I wish the rest of yous were here and hope to see you next year. Thank you.
Hello, I'm John Hannigan. I'm Lieutenant JG John Hannigan. Served on the Vance from May of 1965 to September of 1967. I was the CIC officer, and later in my tour I was the ops officer after I relieved Tom Generous. And very happy to be here and enjoying and seeing everybody and seeing our friends. And fortunately for me, I live close by. I live in Bethesda here in the Washington area, so it's a treat for me to be here. Thank you very much.
I'm William T. Generous Jr. Everybody knows me as Tom by my middle name. I was an enlisted sailor, 902-6215. I became an aviation electronics technician, 2nd class petty officer. But when I was in the Vance, I was an officer, 668349/1100. I became the operations officer, and I was a lieutenant.
Good afternoon. My name's Ken Hamaker. I was an officer aboard the USS Vance
I reported for duty in February of 1964. I came aboard to relieve the communications officer. That first deployment we had up on the dew line in February is when we took that big wave over the bow and knocked off the cover for the 03 gun mount and did some structural damage. We had to turn around and come back to Pearl. I happened to be on a bridge at the time, and my first deployment, and I thought, well, hell, this is the way the Navy is. This is the way it's going to be. If I had known better, I would have been quite worried. God knows what else could have happened. Anyway. Served under Ross Wright, was aboard almost 3 years aboard the Vance when we ended up the market time patrols and went to Westpac. I was there with Ross Wright, and of course I was there when Marcus Aurelius Arnheider relieved him in December, and went back on that cruise and ended up coming back to Pearl, getting out of the Navy in November in 1966. During that time, my college sweetheart was going to the University of Hawaii because her dad was Army and was in Vietnam. Got married in the Naval Pearl Harbor Chapel in January 1965. We're still married, living in Arlington, Virginia. Got 3 kids and 7 grandkids. And this is my first reunion for USS Vance, and having a great time and seeing some great people. Glad we could come and be here. Probably be the last one I come to because we don't do much traveling. Most of these reunions are elsewhere, but I'm a member of the Destroyer Escort Sailors Association. I get their paper, and I always like to read the stories that people have about their Navy days. I'm going to try to get up in New York and see the Slater. I've been following all the things that have been going on with the USS Slater and all its reconditioning and rehabilitation, and would love to see it. And hi to all you guys, and thanks so much, and that's all I got to say today.
Hi Joe, this is Ed Fura. I served on the Vance from 1964, I guess it was, when I reported, and left in early 1967. Started off as damage control officer, was main propulsion officer, and then chief engineer. Certainly great to see all of you guys and to be here and meet you again. I know I saw you a couple of years ago up in Buffalo, but it's been it's great to see everybody and great to see the camaraderie that has existed all through the ship. We obviously know that I know that the officers have been close and been together, but it's great to see the crew doing the same thing. So, wish you all well and the best of health, and that being the most important thing, I think, at this point in our lives.
Jim Morfino, RM3, September 64 till June 1st, 67. Got out in San Francisco, Treasure Island, tied a few years ago. My wife is from California. We live about 50 miles from here, and this is my first reunion. I'm sorry that I missed all the other ones, but I'll try my level best, God willing, to be to the next one. Happy to talk to whomever's listening and watching, and I'm glad to see some of my old shipmates here today. Jim's house is great, and his hospitality is better.